Hello once again. You know, it's dawned on me that I don't think I've ever done a walkthrough of my cargo trailer showing you how I load it up. So this is my little 7x12 Wells cargo. I've had it for getting close to 2 years now, but I primarily use it to haul all my camping gear and motorcycle. So let's take a look. Last year I built this nice little workbench across the front. The space underneath of it is perfectly sized so that I can stack 2 plastic bins, and then I've got just a little bit of extra space. This is my handle to engage the clips for my torsion bars on the weight distribution hitch. And here's the little clips that hold them in place. I've got a little hook here that I hang my door lock on, and then I've got a little Velcro strap for a splitting maul that lets me split some firewood and whatnot. So over here I have a toolbox. The trailer came with a toolbox, then it also came with all of that E-track along the wall here. It also came with these 3 recessed in-floor wheel chocks. In a way they're nice, but in a way I kind of don't like them. This one was too far forward. I mean, it worked for hauling my motorcycle, but then it prevented me from getting in and out of the trailer without having to step over the motorcycle. This box is full of leveling blocks for my rig, and this is full of some other miscellaneous camping gear. I've got a couple of little hooks here with a bungee cord that holds my little tables in place, and then I'm using one of my wheel chocks there for my mountain bike. My motorcycle riding gear usually lives down there when I'm traveling, or up at the very front here. Once I get where I'm going and I'm doing some motorcycle riding, I move the gear bag and set it up on top of the workbench. There's my riding boots. I've got a little bungee strap holding those in place. All my chain lube and other miscellaneous supplies for motorcycling are in there. Towel rack, miscellaneous RV stuff. I've got some rope and power cord adapters, and then that area to the right is where I store my air cleaner supplies for my motorcycle. Sometimes I get into areas where it's really dusty and I need to do maintenance on the bike. My Honda EU2200 lives back there. The blue thing down there, that's a cover that goes over it. I usually travel with the cover on it. A little gas can for generator gas, and then I've got a box of firewood. There's a couple of tie-down points on the floor you can see there. One right behind the gas can and then one behind the generator. And I have 2 more up in that area and then in the back corner. Those let me tie down my big generator. It's an EU6500. Over on this side I've got my Suzuki DRZ 400. That's a Pingle wheel chock that I added. I moved that from several trailers and I've got it set up where I can use this exact wheel chock in my 2 cargo trailers that I have. That little wooden box there perfectly fits 2 motorsports style 5-gallon gas cans. And those little blue straps here, they hold it up against the wall. And I've got another 5-gallon gas can back there. And then back there is my chainsaw. And sometimes I go motorcycling on trails that haven't been cleared yet, and I will pack the chainsaw with me to clear trees off the trail. Spare tire mounted on the back wall. That is not where I originally had the tire. The first place I had it was over there, and then I realized that I wanted to get the generator right up against the wall so that it was easier to get through this little pathway coming in and out of the trailer through the back door. So that seemed like the most logical place to put it, is up high on the right side of the trailer. The trailer also came with a bunch of little racks. These are helmet holders, and it works really good for holding a collapsible folding lawn chair. I've got another one over here that I don't have anything in there right at the moment, but usually I have a rolled up piece of rug that I lay across there just like the lawn chair and then hold it in place with that little bungee. The trailer also had some E-track down the middle. I didn't really like the E-track, so I pulled it out to free up all the floor space, and then I just put little short sections of L-track. That works out a lot better. Same thing up here. I do have the trailer situated where I can haul 2 motorcycles in it. There are more mounting feet for another set of pingle wheel chocks right there. You know, and I think that just about does it. Oh, back here we have another set of little broom holder clips, and you can see I'm actually using it to hold a broom. When I have my EU 6500 in here, I generally just leave the cord plugged into the generator, and then I flip this down and store my power cord right up here. My RV has a removable style marine power cord, so I'll just unplug the RV end of it, coil it up, and hang it on that. That is also a motorsports accessory. It's a, I think it's a tire holder for spare motorcycle tires. Ramp door is really a lot more convenient for me for loading motorcycles. Also for wheeling my U6500 up here. Tucked in here back in the corner behind the motorcycle is a small air compressor. This is one that I had bought specifically for using in my big cargo trailer, and then it works really good in this trailer too. There's a little bracket back on the wall and a little receptacle that is on the back of the generator framework or air compressor framework. You just slide it down and it holds it in place. Then I just lift it up to remove it. There's an orange cord, that's a 120 volt power. It kind of snakes up behind the trim across the top of the wall, follows the front of the trailer, and then goes all the way down here and plugs into another cord. And then I also have a 30 amp shore power inlet somewhere back there. There it is, right behind my boot holder. I've got a little bit more L-track across the front. That really hasn't proven to be too useful. I used to haul my lawn chair standing vertical in the corner, and those little tables, well, the tables kind of always moved around, and you can see how they scuffed up and rubbed the wall a lot. And usually when I got where I was going, the lawn chair was laying on the floor and the tables were kind of all cattywampus and leaned out here and about ready to fall out from the bungee cord. The problem is the bungee cord is just too high to be an effective holder for those tables. That's not really an ideal situation either. I'm not sure where I'm going to end up finally deciding to store those, but I need to come up with a better plan. In my last cargo trailer, I had replaced the upper wall panel with pegboard, and then put a bunch of pegboard hooks in there, and then used those pegboard hooks to hold the handle of the table, and it worked perfect. I've thought about doing the same thing here, but I've been looking around and I can't find the pegboard hooks that I took out of that last trailer, so I really don't know where they went. I'm gonna keep looking for them. Got 3 interior lights in the trailer. These are LED. They're kind of a cool white. It works really good for lighting up a workspace. And then over here I have another little holder. This holds a box of rubber gloves. I've got these little flags here so I don't bang my head. At least I see those flags and I remember to duck. Sometimes I don't duck quite far enough and I bang my head on the door. There's my switches for my interior and exterior lights. So we'll do a quick walk around at the outside. having that workbench has been a huge improvement. Gives me a spot to store the bins, and my gear bag for motorcycling is so heavy that it would actually partially collapse the lids on the boxes, on the plastic totes. And I was always having to move the gear bag to get access to the totes. I converted all of the exterior lighting to LED. I installed new tires and wheels last year. I put all metal valve stems in them, which are recommended for using when you're running TPMS sensors. I have a tire pressure monitoring system. This is my first trip out, so I didn't put the batteries back in sensors yet and reinstall them. All LED lighting, like I had mentioned earlier, those are the tail lights. And then a new project that I just finished, adding some big Rigid Industries floodlights on the back. There's a center high mount stop lamp that I just recently installed. It's been a really awesome trailer. I used to have a similar sized and same model. This is a Wells Cargo Road Force. The other one was a 6x12, and it worked really good. It was a little tight for hauling two motorcycles side by side. I had them staggered, one further towards the front, one further towards the back. It worked, but it didn't give you much access to move around between the motorcycles. And also, when you were backing up the trailer, I couldn't see it in the mirrors until it was too crooked to straighten out, like when I was trying to back into a campsite. So about 2 years ago, I started the hunt for a bigger trailer and stumbled across this one practically by accident when a friend of a friend was selling this, and the friend of mine told me about it. And the first thing I asked was, hey, does it have torsion axles? And he said, yes, it does. And I said, well, I want the trailer then. Torsion axle trailer rides a lot smoother when it's lightly loaded. It doesn't have a tendency to bounce as much. And that's what my 6x12 was also torsion axle. That's one of the features of the Wells Cargo Road Force model is torsion axle instead of a leaf spring suspension. In my opinion, and also based on my experience of towing cargo trailers behind truck campers for the last 10 years, is another must-have is at least a 4-foot tongue. That way you've got plenty of clearance behind the truck and the camper. I'm running a 36-inch torque lift super truss hitch extension, which protrudes beyond the truck camper bumper by about 5 inches, and I think that gives me plenty of clearance between the back of the Fox landing and the trailer tongue jack, although I would never tow with the Fox landing folded down. I always fold it up. Having that extra length with the 36-inch extension is pretty flexible because I can park and camp places and not have to unhook the trailer just to be able to use the Fox landing. Same thing if I want to stop and get into the camper to load groceries or take a lunch break somewhere while I'm traveling. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload future videos. Thanks for watching!